Time that's what I'm talking. That's that critical race theory type stuff. We act like we can't even have no sense. That's what I'm talking about. So go ahead, JP. Finish reading this stuff right here. Y'all know this Run Tell Man and Biles Fall. I stop that. I ain't got to do no introduction. Y'all know who it is right here. We're going to get y'all on the show. We got to get y'all on here.
That's right. Okay, so we getting a lot of people talking about Yamacraw. So maybe we can get, and y'all know way more about this than me. So, but I'm hearing people say Yamacraw. Tawana Chant says Yamacraw needs to go and start over with a better community for those families in the area of downtown. And then somebody countered DeSarah Boyd saying Yamacraw is our history. That was the start of Savannah, but people from right here don't know that. So, with those two statements, I guess we can jump into that.
I can jump in, so I'm glad to go ahead and do this right now. Just like people about Yamacraw, let y'all know this. Even though it's gonna probably come out, or if it don't come out, understand you got it on Biles Force. There were millions of dollars given to an entity right here in the city of Savannah to deal with regards to renovation, refurbishing Yamacraw. That there are millions of dollars out there right now for that to be done for public housing. But guess what happened, people? Your people who look just like you did nothing for that. You know why they do that? They did that because they want to get rid of Yamacraw as you all know it right now, and they're going to have some affordable housing, upscale housing over there right now. That's what the deal is. So now, because some things I can't go and put out there, but right now, what should happen and what some of y'all concerned about Yamacraw, what you should be understanding right now, some people are going to be called out about this, and you all should not be sitting in the corner telling me, oh, I feel sorry for her. No, it's not. They got millions of dollars to do something, not just for Yamacraw, but for other places also where we got our people living in. From Stillwell Towers on to Caton Homes and Fraser Homes that nobody did anything about it. But guess what? Because that's your auntie, that's your grandmama, that's your sister, that's your church member, that's your neighbor, that's your classmate. You don't say nothing about it. And guess what? Now they're about to come off their behinds right now. So I'm waiting to see what some of y'all going to do. Are y'all going to stand up? Because people have been saying this for a long time. Oh, y'all had know at one time that the hoteliers around here wanted to put a wall around Yamacraw? Wanted to put a wall around black people predominantly. Because that's what it was. So now all we did is black people in positions of power right now. All we did, we went along with them and go along with them right now. So it's not about saying tear down Yamacraw per se. It's about putting the monies in the Yamacraw that was designated for such that other people look just like us didn't do it. Because guess what? We are the buffers for Chamber of Commerce and the hotels that come here to the city. The plantocracy here.
We don't stand up. We take what they give us, stop living in fear, and speak up.
That's it. We live in fear. And so, but guess what? It's not just about me on this show, not just Brother Jamal on the show. We got some other guests right here. We got Brother Hollis Mitchell right here in the house right here. We're going to get him to come on. And then we got Julius Hall who's setting stuff up for him to come on, because that's what it's about. This is the male show. This is about black men not talking about these issues that are relevant to us and that we no longer, just as the basic person that's going to say, no longer having fear. It is insane that how we engage in fear. Right. We are fearful to stand up. That's why I tell you, when you love God, you have no fear of man or woman. Right. So that's what the deal is. No fear tonight on this show. Black men talking about black men, talking about the community and how we need to improve our community, standing up and being who we are. Because there's some mythologies about us. We're going to throw that out there tonight too. So again, we got Brother Hollis Mitchell, you know.
So and you can come in. I can ask my questions from the side. But yeah, because we're gonna get into this black man conversation, and don't nobody do it better than Mr. Hollis. You heard? I'm the young buck that be soaking up all the game. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, we got Mr. Hollis coming in. Let's get it.
So yes, Brother Hollis Mitchell in the house.
Yes.
So, but again,
hey, I'm a little off too. You know. We usually have Maestro on the ones and twos with the music. So I'm not, I ain't had no transition music this time, but hey, we doing our best. But hey, Mr. Hollis, what else?
Yes.
Okay, so before we jump into it, the question that we begin with is, what can we do as black men to improve our communities? I know it's kind of a widespread question, but just kind of give me an idea as to what you think can be done in our communities by us specifically, Black men, to improve our community?
Well, the first thing I think we can do is be almost like being in the army. You have to take block by block by block by block. So we as Black men, older Black men, must go back to our hood. All us Black men can come together and take our block back from these young cats. I'm talking about we can go, I'm just using, for example, a certain neighborhood. I've just called Tatumville.
Right.
You know, Tatumville had 3 or 4 shootings and within 5 days. That's ridiculous. And now we are scared of our own kids. You're talking about 14, 15, and 16-year-old kids. We are scared of our own kids. And like Bro Jamal said, if you got faith in God, you won't have no fear.
Right.
So therefore, I don't have no fear for nothing. I go to any neighborhood, anywhere, anyway. But I just need, if I can get me 10 to 15 Black men who's down with it, and go back to the community, we get together, and all let's go to one particular neighborhood and ride that neighborhood for at least a week. Up and down that neighborhood for a week, nonstop. And then we go to another neighborhood and another neighborhood. But we gotta get our neighborhood back, because if it ain't, man, we'd be like a dinosaur extinct.
Right.
You know.
So what I was thinking, right, and I talked about this last week on the show with Miss Alicia, and what I was saying was that the young cats out there, you know, I don't really blame them because they don't know no better. And what you saying is right, you know what I mean? But what I think we need to do is go or be in the hoods with love, you know what I'm saying? Because when I slide through on the young cats, I slide with love. And they really, like, them kids ain't got nobody out there telling them, you know, they love them, they proud of them. I want to see you do better. I want to help you get out the situation that you in. It ain't enough of us out there doing that for them kids, and that's all they need, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause when I do like, you know, I'm a music guy, so I do sessions with young cats every day, and you'd be surprised at the amount of young cats that's starving and thirsty for leadership. You know what I'm saying? I got kids that tell me I saved their life because of what I do with the music with them. You know what I'm saying? When I go to the hood and I see a cat wilding, I pull him, hey, you know, come with me. We're gonna go to the studio, we're gonna make some music. Whatever he put out, he may put out some violent stuff, he may put out stuff that you don't want to hear, but I'd rather him focus that energy into what I do versus being in the street and actually putting it to work. You know what I'm saying? So I think that a lot of times that we go at the kids angry instead of with love. We go at them like, you know, what you doing? You need to stop it. You out here tearing up our streets. Well, you know, and then the whole time they looking at you like, where you been? You know what I mean? Like the OG in the hood, 23. You know what I'm saying? Like where the OGs at in the hood? They don't know no better, and you can't get held accountable for what you don't know. But when we go through to the hoods and we teach them a better way, we show them a better way. We not only teach them discipline and understanding and, you know, wealth and Black wealth, and y'all can speak to it better than I can because I don't know all the big words and terminology. But when we get out there and we teach them that, you know what I'm saying, they'll and do it with love and show them that we love them and we appreciate them and we want to see them do better. I think that'll be a way to start in our community. What's your opinion?
I'm just looking for Julius Hall to come and sit down here. This is the see, I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm just a simple country urban boy. Cause see, my stuff, like I say, I don't understand how people be functioning. I'm like, we just roll with it because that's the neighborhood I grew up in. That's the road I grew up on. So I'm like, so if you just come and get involved and stuff, you like, you don't be sweating that. So I know y'all all sophisticated. You know, I ain't sophisticated. So I don't even understand this type of stuff. And so, and you know, going back to with regards to love, I'm like saying, yeah, there's love and respect. Letting all of us have respect for one another, letting us understand that we are obligated to one another. But actually, I'm gonna say that some of us ain't doing that at all because many of us feel that we have arrived.
Yeah.
We've arrived with regards to we have success, we have achievement. So then we turn our backs on other people who look just like us. But then we will go and take care of other people. And so, and the same thing. And what you said, JP, that we have out, and it's all children, males and females, all of them looking for leadership. They're looking for leadership. They're all looking for leadership. And then so what happened? Guess who sometimes become the leaders of our children? People who don't look like us. People who are not a part of who we are. And so what they do, because they don't identify with us and not a part of it, so then we're disconnected. So when you're disconnected, then again, you feel like you're lost. Right. And so then that's what it was probably I said to you that, hey, you saved my life for me to come up and record. That helps me with regards to that. So more of us, so that's from recreation. We talk about that. Recreation with regards to tutoring, with regards to building self-esteem. All these are things that got to come into play, and that we got to be real about it. And many of us are not real about it because, again, we feel that we have arrived and we look out only for groups of people like us. That we look at this, and I started to say an organization name, but just some of y'all try to get mad at me because I mentioned that organization. I ain't gonna mention the name, but we only get concerned about the children at this level right here. And so we're not concerned about all the children. My thing, we're concerned about all the children are part of our group.
Right. The thing is, there's no sense of urgency to save our youth. We should have a sense of responsibility, a sense of obligation to save these kids, and we don't. And there's no plan to. The plans that they have are plans that are made to fail, right? Because they don't really want. And like Jamar said, they're made up by other people outside of us. We know how and what we need to do, but it is just us getting in there and doing it. We need the coalition of Black men to go save these young Black men, right? Because they think that they're grown and they think that they know everything because they've never had that guidance to really bring them up in the sense of listening to a Black male in the house. Right. So they've been the boss all the time. Right. They came up leading and taking care of the household. And we have to get to that point where we can go out and try to offer, because you can't go out and take control, like you said. We can't go out and talk at these kids. We got to talk to them.
And you know what you did, in my opinion, was phenomenal, because I remember that when Hollis wanted to do the thing at the park, and nobody showed up as far as financially to help out with it. And I hit him and he said, "P, I'm gonna still do it because it's on my heart. And I feel like I want to be out there to help them kids." Right. And he did it regardless. Right. And I feel like that's what we missing in the community, when people stop making excuses and start executing.
Unselfish love.
Right.
Unselfish love.
That's what that was. Yeah. Like you did that all yourself. And then people started eventually coming out and helping with it and all. That's how it started. That's how you plant the seed. I don't care if one person came out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it begins in the neighborhood. And in my opinion, it ain't enough people like that. See, I don't do like big events and stuff, but I'm intimately involved with the youth because of what I do. You know what I'm saying?
And look at what showed up at his rallies, the ones that he gave. Who that? Me, Brother Jamal. Right. It's only the core group that's always there trying and voicing our opinion and fighting for our communities. Where the only time that the other ones come out is when you have celebrities there, or some big event where they can be on showcase. Right. We don't care about any fame. We don't care about any accolades. All we care about is saving these kids. We see the problem in the community. We are disheartened by it, and it's going to take all of us, a whole community, to get together with events like Brother Hollis here does. And it's a great event, and it needs to be funded by the city fully. It needs to be funded so that we can, because you try to do something afterwards. We can't be reactive. We have to be proactive. We see the problem, let's address it, let's attack it together, and that's all it takes.
And I believe that, in order for you to teach me, you got to be able to reach me. Right. And even Jesus himself said, "You must go to the highway and the byway and tell them about me." We can't wait we got to go to them. Right. They ain't coming to us. You understand? And we wish we had some more ministers or something to join hand with us, and we can make this happen. Right. If we just take us two or us three just to do it.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like a virus that spreads though. You know what I'm saying? Because like if you start doing things, because I seen it with my own eyes. The day you told me that, I don't care who involved, it's on my heart to do it. You feel what I'm saying? People started coming out, people started seeing it, and people started saying, how can I involve myself with that? You know what I'm saying? When I started doing my thing with the youth, people started seeing it, and they started saying, well, what can I do to help? You know, and show it's a virus, it'll spread, you know, if we do it correctly. But I had another question for y'all too. How do y'all define Black manhood? You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, like and once again, it's a broad question because you can define manhood. But I'm curious to know, like, because all three of y'all OGs to me, like, what are y'all's definition for Black manhood?
Well, Jamal will give us the correct political answer.
Nah, but you know, but just like what? Because everybody did. Everybody.
This is not America After Dark.
But I'm saying everybody's definition of manhood is gonna be different.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I mean, he's gonna give you an academic.
He's gonna
he's gonna give you an academic one first, then he's gonna get real. I'm gonna give it to you, like, you know, in the middle, and Hollis gonna give it to you rough enough. So, you know, Black manhood is just understanding that we have a responsibility. It's understanding that we have an obligation to our youth and to our communities. I'm 60 years old. I mean, I might look 36 when I'm 60. And so I understand my obligation. I'm not scared of dying right now because I've lived 60 years.
Right.
So it's about my obligation to whatever I can do to help my community. That's all I care about. That's why we started this platform. That's why you see him on every show there is almost, because we're trying to make sure that it works.
Right.
Because we know that we have something that is needed in our community.
Right.
And so, you know, every man, Black man, is already a man.
Right.
You just got to understand your obligations, your responsibilities, and work on them. You have an obligation. Too long have we waited on the sidelines for the Black man to step forward. Look who's leading us now. All Black women. Shouts out to all Black women. But Black women, we need Black men to start standing up. Look who's in the churches.
100%.
Black men not in the churches. It's all Black women. Black men need to start standing up and doing things and becoming more active. They made us comfortable. It's a diabolical plan that's been put in place. Everybody might think there's some conspiracy theory, but it isn't. It's a plan that's been put in place to destroy us.
Right.
And until we see it for what it is and come up out of it, we're doomed.
Right.
We're in a sunken place, and we got to come out of it.
But what you also have to realize is that even going back to biblical days, you know, when the when the Hebrews wanted the Egyptians wanted to destroy the Israelite, he said, kill all the male youth. You understand? To destroy a race of people, you must get rid of the male, because you can get one male man and have 365 girls, and he can impregnate them, each one of them, every day. But it take a woman a whole year to reproduce.
Right.
So to destroy a race of people, you must destroy the man.
Right.
And what they're doing is they have really destroyed the men with the rap music.
Right.
And that's one of the most.
Wait, before you get off it, right, though, but the question was.
Okay. The question was, and being a Black man, it's not just you being successful and my kids. You must pick up the next person.
Right.
You understand? Because in order for me to be good, my people must be good also.
Right.
You understand? And what Julius was saying, that, you know, some of us get there and we get the door open and shut the door behind us. Don't want nobody else in there. You know, I done succeed. I'm successful. My kid ain't gonna do that because my kid is a member of the 100 Boys of Youth of Savannah. Right. You understand? But and it's a very good organization. But at the same time, the 100 Boy Youth of Savannah, they are not the ones pulling guns out and shooting you. Right. They're not the ones who robbing your house. So therefore, you got to go to the hood to get them. You get these kids. Like they say, only the sick go to the doctor.
Right.
I'm well, I don't have to go to the doctor. So these kids here who's a member of the 100 Boys, they good. Their parents, they got mom and father parents in the household. You got to go to the hood and get these kids. Because these other ones, they straight.
Right.
You understand? So I like that organization. I love the organization, but at the same time, we need to come grab some of the slagging ones.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The ones who left.
Yeah, but listen. If I'm sorry, but I need you to like define this for me from your perspective. If I'm a youth and you're telling me what it is to be a man, what your definition of a man is, that's what I want to know. You telling me about
you got to provide for your household, provide for your family, be a good provider. But sometimes you just can't be a provider. You got to be a parenting too.
Right.
You know, some people are very good providers, but not very good parenting.
Right.
You know, the kids got the best sneakers, they got the best video games, they got all this, but mom and daddy don't teach them nothing. The video and the TV raise them.
Right.
So you got to be just not being a provider, be parenting, and that's a two different things that people have mixed up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're not parenting, they just
that's what I wanted to hear because exactly. I remember when we last had our conversation. I was telling you that and I had an issue with this because I was so entrenched in my work that, you know, like he said, I provided, I gave my kids money, I made sure they straight, they got the nice clothes on them, but I wasn't parenting. And you gave me an earful about it that day. Yeah, and it really changed the way I look at, you know, parenting, because now I'm actively involved. Like I go to the schools, I go to the games, I try to figure out what's going on. I sit down and have the hard conversations with my kids, the same way I talk to y'all. Hey, tell me what it's like to be 13 or 14 in this world today. Tell me how you feel. I don't care how it come out. Give it to me because I need to hear the truth. I don't, you know, and I don't let my kids go through nothing. You know, I'll get into that later, but that's what I wanted to hear you say, like provide, protect, you know what I'm saying, and parent, you know, and don't just mean that for your family. It also means for the community.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Provide and protect. So yeah, Mr. Jamal.
Yeah,
Dr. Jamal, let me get it together.
No, actually, no. And see, now, this is the thing. The only time we talk, say doctor, nothing like that, or say something like that, that's only for arrogant people.
Roger that.
Everybody else people who really know me know where I'm from. You know, the greatest title is say brother. It's Brother Jamal. That's right. The greatest title. That's why I tell them, I don't even sweat that. It's only these people who are arrogant, who think they're better than somebody, that we gonna throw it out there. Let's say, I got education too, fool. So again, you can't even come at me like that. So again, because when people see me, they think that I'm somebody who's straight off of West Broad Street, straight off of MLK, and they treat me like that.
Right.
They show me discrimination. They have, y'all know the people that call the police on me. Y'all know that. Police that came at me. Y'all know that. So again, they don't even matter about no titles, position. I try to tell people that all the time. But then going back to what is a black man? What is being a man in general? Right. Being a black man is being secure in self, being secure, being independent, knowing that you got your head and you're able to see things. And that's how folks is, you know what agrees with your soul. You know what agrees. When I say agrees with your soul, you know what's right and what's wrong. I ain't getting into no stuff about, oh, we can like twist it up. No, I'm like, you know what's right, you know what's wrong. And so what happened for many of us, we ain't got the strength and we ain't got the heart to stand up for what we know is right. Because see, we're fearful of what our friends think, what our boys think. We are fearful of them, so we don't stand up. That's why I think I constantly hit people with. I said, check this out. I don't care if a person we're $120. If that joker got some heart, I'm down with them. And for a man got to have heart. For black men, you got to have heart, and that's why so many of us have this fear that we are afraid of our youth. We're afraid of our elders. We're afraid of people who have titles. That's why I say, don't call me no doctor. You call me brother. No, I say break it on down, saying, because again, that means that now I understand my job is to be a leader. My job is to lead my communities, to lead my families, to be right out there. And that's not to say without the black woman or without a woman. It is that, again, we work together as a tandem with regard to this. But I know I have a rule and I have an obligation I got to fulfill. But some of us get so caught up because we got other people tell us who we are right now. We're like that. I keep telling people like a leaf in the wind. Wherever they tell us that's what we're supposed to be, we go with that. And I'm like saying, come on. Anybody, like people heard me say this before. If you got your pants below your behind You got to run from a dog. You can't run from a dog.
Right.
But then guess what? You are so stupid. You are so insane. You are so unindependent that you fall because everybody else doing it. That's why I say people with me, my thing is always about having heart. It don't even matter. And if somebody speaks the King's English or the Queen's English, guess what? I don't look down on them. If they don't speak the King's English or the Queen's English, guess what? I don't look down on them. I'm looking at their character right now. I'm looking at that integrity. Because guess what? If I can't trust you when you're away from me, guess what? I can't trust you when you're around me. And so that's when I gotta say, yo, check this out. I need people around me who are gonna be out there in the fight, because guess what? It's about liberation. Because I see oppression all the time, and I see how this oppression got us scared. We scared, we got money, we scared, we ain't got no money, we scared. I look at everybody scared. And I'm like saying, people like me, I'm saying, people like me, you know, y'all say we crazy. Because we stand up and speak out, because I say, you can't put me in a box. You get upset with me because I say, you can't shape me like this. Because again, like I said with Julius, where I'm from, we just walk on in there. And y'all say we unsophisticated. Let me be unsophisticated, but guess what? I ain't scared.
That's a fact.
Yeah, and the great point to what you're saying is, when we want these black men to stand up and help us, I mean, seriously, and I'm not even gonna lie to you. I walk around this city and I be everywhere. And you know what people tell me? People I don't know, people that I do know, Julius, you're doing a great job. Keep up that good work. Well, brother, it'd be great if you was with me.
Right.
It would be stronger if you was with me.
That's a fact.
That's what we need. We need you to be with us on the front lines, fighting this fight with us. We fighting a good fight. This good trouble we get into.
Right.
People blame me for everything. I don't care. I'm at that point in my life. Just blame me. Put it all on me. I don't care. But come fight with me. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
So I mean, based on what I got from y'all, we want to lead, we want to provide, we want to protect, we want to parent our community. You know what I'm saying? In order for us to do it, we'll have to do it together, in tandem. But the same way it worked with the family, with you and your personal family, is the same way it should work on the streets.
Exactly.
We're not out here leading. We're not out here providing. We're not out here protecting. And we're not out here parenting our children. And then when they run off and they be wilding, you got to think about this. Why are we out here dragging these kids when we the ones who made them?
That's right, the failure.
We the ones who made them.
The failures on
We're
us.
the ones who raised them.
Right.
We're the ones who got them still living out in the hood. But we the first ones to yell, these kids, something wrong with them, something wrong with it. And I know what y'all done individually with your children or with your families. But as a whole, as black men in the community, we have done a terrible job with our children. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's something. And leading into back into what you were saying, because I wanted to just kind of stay on subject, but back to what you were saying when it comes to the rap music and stuff like that. What are some of the biggest setbacks in the community for the black man? And I know this is about to get interesting, but what do you think is some of the setbacks, some of the things that hold us back from protecting, providing, you know, and leading our community?
I'm not going to blame everything on the system. You understand? But at the same time, you also have to remember this. Everybody play a part of it. The record label, the radio station, the television station, all of them play a part of it, because what I was saying earlier about destroying the black male, what I'm saying is that I will not build a hotel in a desert, because ain't nobody gonna come to that desert. You understand? So if I'm gonna build a prison, I got to build a prison. I ain't gonna build no prison if nobody come there. I can't make no money. So what I'm saying, the prison is part of the record label. Okay, you built this prison. Now you get the rappers. They uneducated, can barely read their name backwards, say their name, spell their name backwards. But at the same time, you get a record label and say, now, if you sing this song here, you can be on video, you can be on this, you can be on that. But if you sing this song here, we're not gonna let you be on it. So therefore, if you wake up a mass of people, then my prison won't be filled. You understand? So we can't wake these people up. The object is to keep them in the blind. The object is to tell them it's cool to sell drugs. It's cool to get a gun and kill a black man. Now, I remember back in the day when Ice-T, that's his name, Ice-T made a song called Cop Killer.
Mm-hmm.
they told Ice-T that he could not play that song, and they made him take it off his record. But now, if you said songs I ride down the street and kill a nigga, a black man, that's cool. You can play that all day because you might implicate with the song I sang. So therefore, that's what I'm saying about the record label, the television station, all that is in cahoots with the prison because we got to fill our prison. So therefore, they're gonna do what they hear. They don't know it ain't up entertainment. You understand? And the sad part about it is that it's just really sad that we don't have, you know, I go in the hood, I'm talking about I go in the hood. Some folks watching this probably see me in the hood. And with the gun bangers and whatever, all the ungodly things. And I be right there talking how I talk. I don't change my tone. Right, I don't change because you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't, like Julius said, I'm 61. I ain't scared now. I live a long life. I would like to live a long more, but that ain't important to me now. One thing of waking up my people. You know, if I can stop one brother from pulling that trigger, one sister from getting on that street selling her body, you know, my mission was accomplished. So everybody ain't gonna agree with you, Julius, or you, Brother Toure, myself. No, I don't want to get in there because they put their religious belief with that too. But a lot of them like to say this here. They're very religious, and a lot of them say they love, and they got Martin Luther King on their wall, but they're not a follower of Martin Luther King. You understand? They don't believe what he believed. Because I remember one time Alicia came home, and Alicia told me, she said, Hollis, they called me radical. And I said, Alicia, girl, that means you good people. I said, call Martin radical. They called Malcolm radical. Girl, actually, Jesus was called radical. Right. So you just keep being radical, you're in good company. You understand?
So that's the word for anybody who
that go against the grain.
Not just go against the grain, but got a voice that stand against, you know,
the people
stuff that they don't believe in. So
being independent. That's
exactly, and not a father.
Being a man or being a woman. That's what it's about. Man or woman.
That's right. They try to frame our narrative, and we let them. You know, one thing that that happens is perception unchallenged becomes somebody's reality.
Absolutely.
And we got to address this. We cannot keep thinking that it's only a small percentage of those people out there that's causing the trouble. Right. It's not all of us, right, exactly. But they look at all of us as we're causing the trouble. They look at us in a negative way because of what only a small segment of the population is doing.
Right.
So we have to be able to change that. And it's going to take all of us because that small number of people that's wreaking havoc on our community is causing harm to us and our community.
And you know something funny? I've been watching this show, and it's an old show. It's called The Wire. I don't know if y'all ever seen it.
Seen The Wire.
But The Wire in Baltimore, but you know, it pretty much talk about, you know, the city, the council, where the money come in, how the money go out, who it get allocated. And you know, the funny thing, the thing that blow my mind about it is how on point it is because of the conversations I hear Miss Alicia and you know all the other council women that come in here and you guys talk about. And when you look at like things that's going on in the neighborhoods and the kids and the funding and the money and where it goes versus where it should go, it's crazy. Because when I was watching The Wire and I was looking at the council, like the council people and how they make decisions and you know how they sometimes they'll not defund, but the police won't get certain money because right now the fiscal year needs to focus on the school system, or either the school system not getting the money they deserve and stuff like that. It's pointless what I'm saying, but it made me, y'all talking about that made me think about when I watched that show The Wire and how messed up the hood is and how easily they could fix it, but they won't. And I think that goes part of the system being created to, you know, for us not to flourish in it. You know,
it create a permanent underclass, and that's the thing goes with what the Hollis was saying. Hollis throwing out there saying that, listen, they create prisons, they create jails. Why they create them? Because they gotta have product to go inside there. and the product of basic people of color. Who are the ones that predominantly that we know are the ones who disproportionately are in jail, African people, and in prison, African people. And so you create this permanent underclass, and so we get caught up into it. And that, and again, thing I throw out to people, and I shared this before, that who controls the Black community? The media controls the Black community. The media controls the Black community. The media tells us how to function, and the person who's sometimes telling us is not a Black person. It's an A&R person. That person's not telling. It's that director. It's that producer. It's that writer. They're not creating these images that now we get caught up into it and we follow it. Then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And so, but we gotta have people who have some heart to not stand, because again, we all want. Not only are we seeking leadership, but we all seek attention also. And if I can get some notoriety, that makes me feel good. You know why that makes you feel good? Because your self-esteem is so battered that's like the drug for you now to feel real good about yourself, but then you still ain't got no integrity, you still ain't got no character, you're still damaged. So that's why you get $1 million and you still gonna do some horrendous things with that $1 million, even though you should be buying some property, other things like that. So I'm gonna throw it out there. Guess what? Y'all get married right now. Longshoremen can get 7 figures, get 6 figures, and should be doing something, but guess instead, they're gonna do some other stuff that's just absolutely dastardly, not benefiting the community, not being in the family. And so all of us just sit around and look, oh, the longshoreman. So that goes to show you get the money, you ain't got your character together, you ain't got your manhood together. Guess what? You still tainted, still messed up. And so now I gotta say this right here. And it is a mythology also. Black men spend more time raising their children than Caucasian men and Latino men. It was done by the CDC. Nobody realized that, but see, we got these other images and we gonna spit that out there. It was showing that Black men bathe their children, put diapers on their children, wash their children, eat food with their children, read to their children. For one time, you have go to extracurricular activity with their children more than anybody else when they're involved in their children's life. But the classification, what they throw out on us is that they say Black men are not in the household. They say, you know why? Because some of those Black men, they're not married. But guess what? Even if they're not married, they're still there for their children. So when it comes down to it, Black men are there, but these narratives are now being thrown out at us, and then someone uses it as an excuse. My daddy wasn't there. Fool, your daddy was talking to you. Your daddy was telling you, your daddy said, come work with me. But you got caught into this other stuff that you done heard somebody go and say, or you saw something on TV, you saw something in a movie, or you saw something in a clip right there. I'm not saying, yeah, Black man, Black woman, you gotta start letting your own mind's eye now look at stuff and start saying, oh no, that ain't right. That ain't real. Because again, Black men are there. These men right here have been there for their children. They've been involved. Even if you were just throwing the money at them, getting to the parents, but still, yeah, there's still an aspect. It's not like somebody else who said, my dad ain't never been around. So that's why I'm just out there. No, it's not. The people been around. You have Black men. Black men are there, but they don't want to talk about that. And that's what they sell it to us. And then guess what? We got people spitting it out, writing lyrics about that right there.
And the system's designed like that too. And y'all know me. Y'all know me. Like I'm not really. I'm one of those guys that don't really like to, because me and my show, we talk about this all the time.
And Maestro should have been here, but he got scared because he know the Warriors in the house. Not no Wolverines or no Eagles. That's a W.
Yeah, but me, Maestro go hard with it. But one of the things that me and him always kind of talk about is that, like, when I'm sorry, when you was just talking about the Black man being in the household and the system. I'm the type of person that don't really like to talk about the problem. I want to talk about what we're gonna do about the problem. Absolutely. But in this sense, me being a kid that grew up in the projects, being one of them kids that I don't know my pops from nothing. Like I never seen him before in my life. You know what I mean? And I grew up in the projects and stuff like that. But I seen firsthand where the guys try to be around. But the system created so that the women either can't have the men in the house. Like I done seen it where my brother's daddies try to, what's up? Let me stay. I help you with the bills. Them folks say you can't be here. I got to be able to hold this house. They want to keep that house in the projects, and instead of letting the man be the damn man, they'd rather let the system take care of them, and then dudes get blowed because now you're not allowing me to do what I'm genetically encoded to do and be who I'm genetically encoded to be, which is a man, and then we start leaving and like, forget it. I ain't worried about it. And I've seen that happen so many times in the hood and in the projects and in Section 8 housing, and stuff like that, where guys try to be there. So, I get where you're coming from.
And that's exactly and what you're saying. It's not no theory that is said. And they said that's what happened. They said for some of them, what happened, they want to be there. They want to be the midst. But what occurs is that you now have these obligations based on governmental assistance and other things like that now prevent the folks from being right there. And then they got still trying to find ingenious ways to still get involved. And so it becomes an issue that now becomes between a man and a woman. And so then, which then causes issues within the Black community. And we think the issue just with us, when really like saying, no, it's a system that's causing this to occur. And we got to address that system. We have to address our politicians, our administrators, and we got to hit them hard with this. And wait a minute, there's a way that you can be done. Because again, I just had a conversation with some people about this, that when you're not going to do this right here, because some people have said criminal reform, that's a part of criminal reform. Some of y'all didn't know that. They said that you got to create a system now to allow these fathers to go back into their homes, go back into the house, and they said you will see less criminality. Oh, y'all didn't know that? Yes, they got studies on that, but they don't tell y'all about that.
Because the system is designed to divide and conquer.
Yeah. So
you know what I'm saying? They divide the Black men and the Black woman. Now they can conquer our women.
Right.
And now they tell our women that we don't need a man. We can do this by ourselves now. You understand? So you never see white women say, I don't need no man. But they done put it in our sisters' mind that you don't need a man. So that means to divide and conquer. Right. They divide us and they conquer our sisters.
So Miss Alicia, when we talked earlier, she said she talked about Little Italy. She talked about Chinatown. And you got other places like I've been to places that just nothing but Portuguese people stay there, nothing but Mexicans stay there. What do we need to do to get to the point where we can have our Chinatown or Little Africa? Or like how can we get to that point as Black men? How can we create that? Or is the system designed for that never to happen? Mr. Julius.
The system this is that diabolical plan that I was telling you about.
Right.
This is what they've had in place for the last 50 years. Listen, look at the makeup of the things that govern us. Look at it. Look at the school board here in Savannah. Take this school board.
Right.
How many Black men do you see on the school board here? None. 0. How many white men do you see on the school board here? 3. You see, it's a difference. They've divided us with that perception already. That perception has become our reality.
Right. Because
they want to give us the woman to lead us so that the man can think, oh, let that woman get out there. The Black woman is disrespecting us. That's what they want us to think. But that's not the thing. Right. We have just failed to lead. As Black men, we have failed to lead. We'd rather sit at home and be comfortable in our $200,000 homes than to come out and do something, than to come out and get engaged, to get involved, to be in politics, to help us get everything in our communities under control.
Right.
It is a plan that has been put in place and is working.
Right.
And we're trying to cut it off. That's all it is.
Right.
We're trying to cut it off. You got to also remember, man, when you made a statement just now, well, how could we do this when they got Chinatown, they got Italians, they got this and that?
Because it's
the Black Americans are the only people, and you do your research, you're gonna ask Brother Toure, Black Americans are the only people. We're not the only one ever been enslaved, but we are the only people on the face of this earth have been stripped of everything.
Right.
An Arab brother told me one day, a Palestinian brother told me, said, man, I know how it is. I understand how Black people feel. I know how it is to be, because Israel took our land from us.
Right.
I said, I understand your sympathy, but you don't know how it is. I said, because guess what? You still got your language. You still got your culture.
Yes.
You still got your religion. You still got your God. I said, when they took us, they stripped us of everything. We're the only people on the face of this earth who were stripped of everything. We don't even know our name. We don't know our language. We don't know our culture. We don't even know where we from.
Right.
You can ask a Mexican who ain't never been to Mexico, where you from, and
You'll be able to trace it.
he can trace his roots. They took everything. They stripped us of everything.
Right.
And they gave us their name, their God, their religion, their culture. So if you and Julius, brother Jamal, talk any other way than how they told us to talk, man, Mr. Charlie gonna get mad at you. Why are you making this?
Y'all don't even think it's possible.
Oh,
it is possible.
I don't say it is possible, but we have to, again, the thing is go back to not having the fear. And what Hollis is saying, it is absolutely real, because again, what they did with us, that the rest of them, they have had some cultural unity. They have had that. They have some elements. With us, what they made sure that it is put in us to have a fear and a loathing of who we are, not to like who we are. So when somebody does go on a certain, well, I'll give you some examples. If somebody's name is Amir Jamal Toure, some of y'all like, what the hell? Why he got it? Or the name Shabazz Muhammad, what is that? Or somebody say, I practice Yoruba spirituality. Oh, you going to hell. Or somebody got a hairstyle that is basically that, coming from Africa. So, because some of y'all know for a fact, y'all did not like people when they had locks in their head. You despised it. Because again, you see that type of stuff, or you see somebody with some African attire on, and I said this at Georgia Southern. I said to folks, I said, listen, why when I walk across the campus and I got on some African attire and I'm walking past black people, they only look at me. They don't even make eye contact with me. But if I walk across the campus, I got a baseball cap on my head, turn backwards, they look at me, they like throw a hand up. But when I got the African attire on, I say, you know what that is? Because you don't like yourself.
That's correct.
And that's what it is. And we gotta first get to the point of loving it. When we love ourselves, guess what? We spend money with ourselves. We support one another when we begin to love ourselves. But when some of us wake up in the morning, and some of y'all heard me talk, you wake up in the morning, you don't like you don't feel you. So when I see you, I don't like you, JP.
Right.
And I'm more apt to do something to you because I don't like myself, so I don't like you. But guess what? If I wake up knowing I was in the mirror, I was like, "Woo, I love Jamal." Even if I ain't got no teeth in my mouth, right. I feel good about me. Shoot, when I see JP, I'm like, "What's up?" Right. I would throw it out there just about Sam Carter. I used to look at Sam Carter. Sam Carter, I didn't even know Sam Carter, but he always smiling. Hey, how you doing, I'm like, yo, you work at scared. Why look like that? But then when you know Sam Carter, Sam Carter loved himself, so he loved you too.
The energy and infectious. Right.
Julius Hall, he saw me down in the dumps. He picked me up. Get up. He changed my name. All that.
Gave his name. He's Jamal Toure because of me. His name was called it. But right now, I saw him in the corner, crying and weeping in the corner. I said, "What's wrong, young man?" He said, "Nobody want to talk. The girls don't like me." I said, "Come on."
No,
I introduced him to the whole student body, and I introduced them. Behold, this is Jamal Toure.
Oh Lord, that story right there. Yeah.
It's been around for about 40 years.
I just roll with it. But that's what again. But the same thing in Hollis. When Hollis saying, "Hey, we got to do this." We got to like ourselves, and we can love other people, and then we can spend money with us. Because again, that's a struggle. Because I'm gonna go to JP's studio. He black. I need to go up to Atlanta because these other people over here. I need to give them $5,000.
Let me tell you what's funny, right? So I just recently went to Miami with my homeboys, and we just was going on a guys trip just to get away. No wives, nothing. We just us, the fellas. So when we get to Miami, I shop black and I'm serious about it. So when I went to Miami, I'm like, yo, where the black restaurants at? I'm not eating here. I want to go eat with the guy. This was the blowback I got from every time. Boy, we gotta go to the hood. Them black folks don't treat you right in the restaurant. These I love my homeboys, but this is what I was getting from them. And then I'm like, no, bro. And let me tell you something. The moment we went, because I stressed it for like 3 days, I found one little black spot around where we ate, and I ate there because I didn't want to eat nowhere else. I wanted to spend my money with us. You know what I'm saying? But when I found like this whole strip in Miami with nothing but black-owned restaurants, like Jamaican spots and stuff like that. And we had a ball. And one day, in that one little strip area, we bought our clothes. we was able to listen to good music, eat good food, learn different, you know, cultures as far as people who look like us, because they had the African spot, they had the Jamaican spot, you know, they had the soul food spot, you know, they had a hole in the wall, you know, like Mama Kitchen, you know what I'm saying? But it was funny that like the moment I mentioned, and it's funny because when I do that everywhere I go, man, why you going over there? Why you hitting the hood? Why you want to go spend your money with them? You know they service ain't good or blah blah blah. I don't care about none of that.
We gotta get away from that.
That's a
fact. They're pricing us out of putting that type of environment in the city of Savannah. Yeah. So guess what? You gotta come in there. Come to Fort Whitworth. We'll make it happen out there in Fort Whitworth.
Y'all ain't about to be no city no more. All they're talking about, they ain't about to be a town. It's gonna be two Fort Whitworth.
Just bypass the downtown. Come on out there where we at. We
unincorporated Chatham County now.
Yeah, no, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. Y'all keep believing the hype and what the news say. That ain't gonna happen. But anyway, we have to develop and make those areas just like they have in Miami. Right. We have to be able to say, okay, we can coexist. We can exist among each other where we can have that clothing shop. We can have that restaurant. We can have that tire shop. We can have that lawyer's office. We can have that dentist's office. We can have that doctor's office. We can have everything that you need and it just put it there. But the thing is, we don't want to be around each other. What it is, we hate each other.
That's right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But we can get there.
Right. I'm gonna throw something out there. I know our councilwoman Alicia Miller-Blakely talked about. She talked Chinatown, Little Italy. I'm gonna throw it out there now. People in DC, y'all know what time it is. Y'all know Adams Morgan ain't black no more. Y'all know that. Y'all know Georgetown ain't black no more. Y'all know that. So again, these were areas that we were right there. But same thing is happening. It hit the black folks all of it. It's not just Savannah. It's all of us. And so, but you see these other spots popping up. And so we got to seize the moment. We got to seize the moment. And we got to make concerted efforts. It's not just about saying keep the dollars in the black community. This is how other communities are also able to prosper a bit. And we got to do the same thing with us. We got to make a concerted effort to support our programs, support our businesses, support our venues, support whatever we got going. You guys, because everybody else does it, and you support them too. How many of y'all gonna be supporting St. Patrick's Day? Y'all know y'all gonna be doing it. Y'all the number of black folks I even saw this weekend with green stuff on. Yeah. I might not, but guess what? You won't even go to a black restaurant while you are here.
Won't you go to MLK Day Parade?
You about to go down there and you about to spend $18 a drink. You know what I mean? You about to go down there and spend so much money to party with them white folks, and it's people struggling to get $5 out you for something else.
How many times have we seen they designate you on St. Patrick's Day, you Irish for a day.
Right.
It's about Irish culture.
Right.
How many damn Irishmen you seen come up and saying that they black for a day?
That's a fact.
That's right. That's right.
We can't do this.
Right.
We can stop. We got to stop hating each other ourselves.
That's right.
That's self-hate.
A whole holiday dedicated to getting drunk and disorderly and wilding. A whole holiday dedicated to it. Meanwhile, MLK get canceled.
Or if I got a homecoming parade, y'all think something wrong with us because we got a homecoming parade and you got a whole day. Again, you got millions of people coming here specifically just to get drunk. Drunk, and we don't even call it out, but we just roll with it.
That's a fact.
They canceled Orange Crush.
No, they sure did. We talked to the guy.
We cannot have nothing for us. From that. Orange Crush ain't a quarter of how corrupt St. Patrick's Day is.
Had helicopters. I'm like, they got helicopters. I'm like, helicopters.
I saw something the other day. This guy was on TikTok and he was talking about how they're not calling the Russia invading the Ukraine white on white crime. But if that was Africans, they'd be saying it's black on black crime. Why you don't talk about this? You know, we're the we're victimized and we're put out as being this these animalistic type people.
That's right.
And nobody says anything about it, not even our leaders.
Right.
Our leaders don't say anything about it, and we don't get the respect that we deserve because we don't respect ourselves.
Well, I'll just throw this out there. And so I got to throw this out here and say, why is it that when you have Black women in positions of power and leadership, that Black men don't want to support them and Black women don't want to support them? So I'm just throwing it out there. Why do, when Black women in positions of power and leadership, that Black men don't want to support them and Black women? Because it's two separate things. I'm just saying. I just want some thought.
We got Alicia on the phone. How you doing?
I just asked a question. You can't be interfering by question.
Alicia.
My question is, why is that when Black women are in positions of power, that Black men and Black women don't want to support them?
No, call. Hey, Miss Alicia, call me because my phone louder. Okay. Call that number I called you from earlier. I'm about to call you. You just right. Okay, I'm about to call it right now. All right. But back to what you were saying.
Yeah, because that is frightening. I'm just throwing it out there because I got my perspectives about that, but why do Black men and Black women don't support Black women when they're in positions of power, of leadership? We elect them to leadership sometimes, and sometimes we won't elect them to leadership. Sometimes we don't even support them, but we say it on the face, because I'm gonna let y'all know this. Now, y'all gonna say all y'all want about Stacey, but I'm gonna let y'all know it was some Black people, some Black leaders, some Black ministers in the city of Savannah who did not want to support Stacey. I'm just putting it out there. But when they saw everybody run on the bandwagon, they jumped on it. And y'all ain't sitting on top. I'm gonna leave that alone. Go ahead, y'all.
Hey, before you start, Miss Alicia, let me I'll make a point real quick. But what you were saying is crazy because, like I said, I'm in the music, so I think that it's subconscious behavior from us because, like, say I'm at a show, right? Well, every time I go to shows and because I'm into the music, so I may go to a show and all of us performing. When you go out there, your entourage will come and support you. And then when he go out there, your entourage will leave, don't even look at what he got going on, and then his entourage will support him, and so forth and so on. Right. But it seems to be the same way in Miss Alicia's world as well. You know what I'm saying? I think that it has to be something subconscious. But Miss Alicia, what you were saying?
And that's why I tell you, it's groupism, yeah.
Oh. Hey, do you have me on speaker?
like that.